CHL Mic'd Up.
And welcome to CHL Mic'd Up. I'm Vatanen, the host here with my buddies Nylander and Darth.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
All right, so first of all, let's start it out with some power rankings. My team's not doing too great, but what about you guys?
My team's doing all right. They're doing pretty good, fighting in there. What about you, Nylander? What do you think of your team?
Pretty shitty.
Oh yeah, spanking me 11-3 last night wasn't, that's shitty, man.
Yeah. Now we're doing
Wasn't
pretty
enough
good.
for him, man. He wanted
Definitely
to
can be better though.
All right, so let's start it off. Let's try to find a number one team that we think is tops in the CHL right now. What do you guys think?
Not including my own. I don't know. People have been debating about Sarnia, but I have strong hopes about them. They put up a good fight.
Well, that's if they actually, reduce their roster to 17 players like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any games overturned. Nylander, what are your thoughts?
I think London's the top team right now.
I think they are too. I'm going to have to agree with you on that. London's kicking ass and taking names. I mean, it's Cribs. I didn't think they really had great manager experience when they first started. I knew they started out on Droneville 2 seasons ago, and they started out with Niagara the season after. And they're always talked about, but I didn't see any managerial experience. But they've really surprised me this season, especially with Bulldog and Fisher's killing it. Their center depth is crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so number 2, what do you guys think?
Number 2 in the whole league, in my eyes, would be London. Just because all they're doing good now doesn't mean they're not going to crumble in the end of it all.
That's true. They did lose 2 straight yesterday.
Yeah.
What about you, Nylander?
I have to go with North Bay.
North Bay?
Yeah, they're doing really good.
They're in the shittiest division, and
Yeah.
I think they have 11 points with Snake's team coming in at second. They have a negative record, and Sudbury's at the bottom of that with 0-5. By the way, guys, listeners, we are only going to the top 5 teams. So, what is your guys' number 3?
Not to sound weird, but I think it's me, my team in the end. Not to point that out there. It's just I think I have a strong core group of guys out here that are gonna be around for a while.
What about you, Nylander?
I'm gonna have to go with my team. I think once we get things going, we're just gonna keep rolling through, steamrolling people.
I have to say, I'm going to have to put Sagan on number 3. Now, that's saying you guys have a lot of amateurs and veterans on your team last time I checked.
Yeah.
And that might kick your ass in the end, but I think
Probably.
you're killing it right now, and your TCs are pretty good. Let's hope the Q doesn't steal them all. 4, I guess I'll start out with mine. I'm going to say the Pete's at this one. I played them last night. Their supposed top line. They're hard to play, man. 30 shots on somebody race. I mean, you guys, you play a hard game.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
My next one probably for your team, dude. Just because of that goaltending you have. From, like you said, that 30-shot game and all the games I've played against you guys in club and just preseason, you guys have a solid team around over there.
Appreciate it. Nylander, what about you?
My next one's probably gonna be you guys, Vatanen. Pretty good team, and then Peterborough.
Getting some love. So number 5, Peterborough. I'm gonna go number 5, I guess. I'm gonna go with Sarnia here. They got a good first line. I don't know why they're not playing Canadian Bacon all the time in that. That kid is stupid good. And what about you, Darth? Number 5.
My number 5, you guys may be shocked by this, but if Neski clues in, I think he can turn the season around completely. 'Cause he has some good TC players that I know of. I know them. And if he makes the moves right, his team could pull through in the end of it all.
Ooh, Sudbury. 0-5?
Yeah, man, they can pull through. You guys, I have faith in that team. Just because some of the TC players I know.
I do too. I like their team. Low Life Society is a solid center. I think if they play their cards right and start playing their certain lines against certain teams, they're going to be good. And that's something to be said. After this week 1, we finally get to see who's the good teams, who's the bad teams, and that's when we all start line matching. We just kind of guessed it this week. I don't know about you guys.
To be honest, I already knew what the top lines were somewhat for certain teams. I didn't really feel the need to line match. I was like, it's whatever, what happens, happens. And it turned out to be a good week.
Yeah. Nylander, thoughts?
It was pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take it to our next segment. We're going to talk about the trades of the week. Now, there haven't been a ton of trades, of course, and yes, we are airing this on Saturday. But just so you guys know, listeners and everything, we will be airing a Sunday show, about a 30-minute show, to talk about the weekend trades. And basically, what the Thursday show is going to be all about this segment, is we'll talk about how those trades over the weekend benefited those teams and who we think won in the end. So let's start it off. We'll start with the preseason trades of the last week. What ones do you guys think helped the teams, and what ones were just duds?
Look here.
I'm going to start it off, if you guys don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Go for it.
Our favorite and lovely GM, the Germaniac, with his lovely AGM, Mr. Gator, they decided to trade to Owen Sound, Armageddon, and the top point producer in the CHL as of Thursday, before the games, Burning Wolves. What they got in return was strict TC players that they have not played that I can see whatsoever.
That right there, that's pretty sad, man. Germ, gotta watch that, buddy. I'm speechless for that trade. Speechless.
That's called a veteran getting a hold of a rookie.
my only input in that right there is, there's no input for that besides stupidity.
I mean, round of applause for you, bud. I mean, shit.
Yeah, good shit over there. Good shit, bud.
All right, so what about you guys? You guys had a little time to look. What do you guys like?
There's not really a catch my eye, but the one trade is that light skin trade. I don't know. I've seen light skin play. I'm on a different team in my league. It was you guys trading Demented, and you guys picked up light skin Inhibital, which I think was a good pickup because he plays on my other team in a different league, and he's a solid Tendy. Solid.
Now, I'll put a little bit of input in that. Light skin, I know he played for Plymouth last season for my buddy 7th Offense. We really liked him. I knew him from a GM Connected league last season that I used to run. We might actually try him a defense, to be honest. We haven't played with him this week yet, but I liked him at defense when we played him last season. So I know he's typically a goalie, but we need defensemen right now over there, so might be putting him on. What about you?
With that 33-shot game, I don't doubt it.
What about you, Nylander? Any trades that stuck out to you this week?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be biased, but I traded with Hamilton for Sprangy. He's a top D-man in my opinion. Got pretty much a goalie and a TC, so who haven't even played for them. So I mean, I think we got the good deal there.
That's a thing I've noticed with preseason, which I like. I know Sprangy, he's a solid player. And that's the thing I noticed. A lot of preseason deals were just buddies going to teams. And I think after week 2, we'll be able to really open up and see which trades really help teams and which ones just total crap. All right. I guess now we're going to see Delta get on. And let's see here. Let's get him on the show. Mr. SchlichtYxFifty.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing? Schlichty, why don't you tell us who you play for?
I'm the assistant general manager of the Barrie Colts.
What do you play over there? Goalie?
Yeah, mostly.
Alright, so what do you, I guess I'll start with the questions. Your stats right now this week have a solid team percentage. I believe it's an 84.
Yes.
With a 2-2 record and a 4.0 goal against. Really what stood out to me was 7 shots against.
Yes. I take a lot of shots usually. Especially against London, they really put it on me.
So what makes a good team that you played against, like London? What do you notice about the difference between them and other teams?
Definitely their setups for one-timers, because they come in really quick in 16, and it's hard to stop them. And if you're anticipating it and you use the T push in the game, sometimes they'll just shoot it, and then you'll get off track, and then it'll be a snipe.
Absolutely. Darth, you want to go with your questions?
My one question I have is why are you facing so many shots a game? Is it just all around poor team defense, or is it just the D and collapsing in front of you?
It's a mixture between our D collapsing, like you said, and our offense not coming back for the point, and we're just not getting the puck back after the puck is being shot.
Alright. Fair enough.
Nylander? Nylander, you got any questions for Mr. SchlichtYxFifty?
Oh, I'm lagging right now. So I think... Actually, no, my computer crashed. I lost all my stuff. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Schlichty, I got a few more questions for you. Okay, so it's not been the most solid week for Barry. How do you plan to turn it around in week 2?
Well, oh man, we plan on making a few trades. We're trying to get some decent D-men in our team. We haven't really looked at the TC that deeply yet, so that's what we're trying to work on. And it's really, our defense is just starting to fall apart on us, and then we're not putting goals in the net, because we did beat London. I think it was 3-2, and that's like our only win other than the forfeit. So gotta do something about it.
Yeah, I mean, but London, definitely a good team to start your first win against. I mean, usually it takes only 1 or 2 wins to really get them under your belt and start chugging them out.
Right.
What do you think is the difference in the defense that you have currently in comparison to the other teams?
Well, we got a lot of French guys. That's so it's a little bit more difficult to communicate with them. We got one guy that speaks English and French, Jag1144, and he's pretty much just communicating between both people, and then there's been drama in the team, so it's kind of shaking people up. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to focus on right now.
How do you plan as a manager? I know your first season management with you used to play for my team last season. You and Bogey, great guys by the way. If any of you guys don't know these two, how do you guys plan to alleviate the drama and start building a winning attitude over there in Barrie?
Well, it's simple. We're getting rid of the kids that are making the drama.
Absolutely. That's the first step in any team. You got to get rid of those guys that are really bringing the bad attitudes. So I guess one of my second to last questions, unless Darth has any more.
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, Darth.
How do you feel, besides yourself, that the rest of the management is helping run the team and contribute?
To be honest with you, I'm not even doing the most work out of all the management. It would definitely be Bogey on top. I haven't even tried to take stats yet. He's just working.
I'll be back.
I'm really happy that I have him as my GM because I've noticed I've been slacking a little bit, but I think I'll pick it up sooner or later and start to work harder than what I am now.
Absolutely. Now, I got 2 more questions for you until we bid adieu.
Okay.
My first one is, you are really standing out as the one lone player in Barrie. You're kind of like backstopping the team.
Yeah.
Now, do you believe that with the forwards you have currently on Barrie, that you'll be able to start chugging out some goals? Maybe help yourself out?
For sure. I mean, we have, I don't know if you guys know Bogey, but he was an elite player last season, and he got almost 3 points a game. Then we got Presley on his line, which everyone knows Presley. And then we have, well, we're mixing up our right wings, but, man, our first line is really, really good, and then our Frenchie lines are just right below us, and we're working with them right now.
I have a quick input on that, though. As you said, he did good in 15 on 360. It is a completely different game in my eyes, so you really never know how a line could turn out.
Right,
Which is
and
why a lot of
I understand what you mean, but we're still, like, producing those points. I don't know how, but we're doing it. So it's going to be a good season in the long run for Barry.
Absolutely. If you don't mind here, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
My question for you, as I'm looking at your stats here, you have been keeping up a consistent save average of either a high or mid 70 to a 90.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Because if you look at other goalies in the league, they're all over with the stats. You're in like you have your range set.
You know, I don't really know. It's my first season as goalie, and I just tried it out. I just learned the mechanics for NHL 16. I've been paying attention to how people shoot, and not many people take the short side shot. They go for the pass, and that's what my defense are coming in handy for. But once they're in the middle, they'll take the shot on me, and it kind of just bounces off my chest. And really, my save percentage, I'm kind of just throwing that out to my defense for being there on the cross crease, because I'll just stand there and take the shot all day.
Another question: do you have any other tips for other goalies that may be watching the show? Like any things and advice to give them?
The biggest tip for goalies is use precision movement. If you don't use precision movement, you will lose games.
That's a great tip. I've tried playing goalie for fun, and I'll tell you, after the 10 goals go in the first period, I'm pretty much out. So I give you props for even playing that.
I was dying for it, though. I had a couple go. My AGM side to go in net. This guy was literally sliding over the ice. Yeah, like Vaseline. And I was like, yo, use precision. He's like, I don't need it. The guy was literally just all over that.
No, you need it. That's for sure.
And then one more question before we have you off the show. I know that we don't know a lot of players in Barry, so give us 3 guys that we should all watch out for in the league that are on Barry that we might not know.
Okay. If the ones that you might not know, I mean, there's Presley and Bogey, obviously. You should definitely pay attention to Vanillix. Once we work on him a little bit, he will be a star. Pay attention to, my God, I forgot his name. Of course, I forget his name, and I'm trying to have you pay attention to him, right? Oh my God, that's awesome. Breton. He's French.
I couldn't remember that either. That pronunciation really messed me up big time. I'm not good with French names. Although I come from a French background, it's actually pretty sad.
Sorry about that. Breton X13. He's French, and he's getting up there. I like the way he cycles the puck. He takes a shot when he needs to, and he's doing good. Oh, and one more. Devil's Army. There we go. Just wait.
Right. So you're here at CHL Nation. Go ahead and watch out for these guys. And Schlichty, I wish you the best of luck in the next week, and hopefully you and the rest of your team can gather a few wins under your belt.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks for coming on the show, man.
I will talk to you guys soon.
All right.
All right, see ya.
See ya. All right, everybody, that is SchlichtYxFifty, the AGM and goalie of the Barry Colts. Now we'll go ahead and we'll start on our next segment here. We're going to talk about our player surprises. Now, since Nylander seemed to have some technical difficulties, Darth, have you seen anybody that we really like in the CHL that we've never heard of?
I'm not really looking at the stats now, but one person when I was playing a game that really shocked me it was, I don't know. It was, what was his name? I'll have to look at this. You can take away here, dude. I can't remember his name.
Well, I will say a few things. I got a few guys. I named Burning Wolves off Owen Sound. I've watched a few streams of this kid play. I mean, nice hands and nice puck movement. He definitely knows what he's doing out there. Second guy, I will say, a lot of people don't know this guy. He's on my team, Dubs. Don't want to sound biased, but 20 points in the CHL after week 1. He's hungry, and he's ready to win. And I'll say, too, the goalie for Kingston, Immortal BMW. Now, Darth, I know you face this guy. I mean, I've heard nothing but stellar things about this goalie. What do you think of him?
This goalie, man, although the way he played, I don't really agree with it, but he, and just in all honesty, is a solid tender. There is no beating this guy unless you get a solid goal on him. Like, it's honestly one of the hardest goalies I've ever played in this game so far. Like, when I have to play him, dude, it drives me crazy just going to the game thinking I have to play him. It gets in my head, I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, his stats look terrific. Not only his stats, but save percentage, and Kingston just looks like a beast right now. What, they only have 2 losses. I mean, they're above you.
Yeah, but they still have to put in 2 more games, and then I have faith. And we have our game tonight. And I have our faith in my team to pull it through tonight and get the W.
As do I. Now, after that, we're going to start with our
I still have one player surprise. Actually, I have 2. And
right,
mine, there's 2. There's one on my team, and then there's one on Oshawa, Chris OBX. I scouted this kid personally, and again, he came in the league storming by surprise. I never thought he'd pull it this good. 3 games with 16 points already. And they're pretty balanced. He has 9 goals, 7 assists, and he's still pumping out. It came to shock. And the second player I have, he's off my team, and he was my, what was it, third pick in the draft. Paulie Chunks. First game I played with this guy because I had to use him for an ECU. Puts up 9 points, and it was ridiculous. In 2 games now, he has 12 points. It's a huge shout out to him. 6 point per game player so far.
Speaking of which,
do you mind if I butt in real quick?
How you doing, bud?
Good. I was trying to find a good position to slide in, but another player from Oshawa, Junior Hawk 16. 2 games, 12 points, 8 goals. He has 13 hits, and for all of his stats, he is top 20. He is the 18th for points, the 10th for goals, 7th for plus minus. He's even 20th for hits.
I've actually heard of Junior Hawk. He played on the subpar Windsor Spitfires last season. By the way, CHL Mic'd Up fans, this is OD Flux, who was our next interviewer. He's about to be a QMJHL manager. And we'll get to an interview with you in a second. But to speak on Junior Hawk, this guy was solid. And actually, what not a lot of people know, everyone had a chance on him. He went through waivers after preseason last week.
Yeah, 3 days ago he cleared waivers, and if he can last until the draft, I would definitely say that would be a first-round pick for me.
I think he's a solid player. He's a younger guy. He's always been solid at this game. I will say that.
It's going to be a competition between me and Dangles, the GM, because he's following him too.
Speaking of which, I guess we should start off on our interview for you. So, OD Flux, you just recently got your QMJHL management job, correct?
Yes, I actually found out today, roughly like 3 hours ago.
Recent. Now, I'll start off with a question. Darth, if you have one, go ahead and intervene.
My one major question I'm wondering, because I fear for the Q somewhat, is do you think that the Q is going to prosper as a whole, or is it going to fall because of all the inactive TC guys that aren't getting playing time in the OHL?
Well, what I'm doing with my scouting is I'm picking off the TC that are active and have EA names. If you go and look on all the rosters, there may be 60 people on every single TC, but only half of them have EA names put in, so that means they're inactive. So basically, I posted on the forums, if you're a TC and you want to actually get playing time because you're not with your current team, ask them to put you into the draft, come to my scouting games, and I can almost guarantee you a spot and playing time. I feel like we should prosper, but maybe not this first season while everybody's trying to figure everything out. And I'm not sure. I think there's a bunch of new GMs in the QMJ like myself, and so it's going to be interesting. And I'm making a run for the cup, but it's more about the community and building it up for next season.
Absolutely. Now, actually, Odie, I wanted you to actually give us a little bit of background on you. How many seasons have you been in LG, and what do you do outside of LG?
Well, this is actually my first season ever in LG, believe it or not. But I have been playing competitive NHL since, oh gosh. I started playing NHL when I was 6 years old with my dad, and I played NHL 2003. And ever since I scored 31 goals in one game off of a glitch, I fell in love with the game. And so during the beta, I was top 100 clubs. I was a top 100 left wing, and a top 50 stand-up goalie. And I ended up playing people like Widlaw the streamer, if you guys know who he is. We played him in sixes, and I actually beat his team 3 times. And ever since I found LG, I've just fallen in love with it.
Tris has absolutely done a great job with the site, and McDonald and Zeno have been absolutely killer with managing the LGHL, AHL, and CHL. And I guess my next question for you, now, Darth did say there's a lot of inactives, and I can speak on myself and my part. There have been a lot of TC players on me and bMaJuH's team that are absolutely inactive. And I mean by inactive, they don't even have an Xbox One yet. They're all added, but I've never seen them get in the one once, and they still have the tiny gamer picture, meaning that they're still on the 360. How do you know, once you get past pick 10 for you, that you're going to get an active player if all of your scouting guys are gone?
Well, right now I have 10 picks for my scouts, so I have a fair amount, and I still have all next week. I have games all next week. So hopefully by then I will have like a broad number of people that at least came out and tried, and that way, if need be, I can pick them up. And then also, I've actually been following the CHL gameplay, and every single game I look at to see who's playing and if they're on the roster of the team they're playing for. If not, I have sent them a message and I'm inviting them to come play out with me. Hopefully I don't get people with inactives. Honestly, if someone has a gamer score of under 1,000, I tend to not even friend them because I feel like you're not putting the time or effort and you just join the league for shits and giggles.
Another question I have for you is, we've already talked about how people may be inactive. How good, knowing that there might be some gems on TC, but how good do you think the QMJHL teams would be compared to the OHL?
Well, like with my team now, Hamilton, our GM is once he found like the people he wanted to play, he maybe tried out 5-6 people, but he's only actually played 2 of them. And so the people that are dying to play and messaging every day, he's just ignoring. I'm going to take that haystack and I'm going to find the needle in it. I'm going to find those great players that are just dying to play and get them on my team.
That's surprising. To hear that the GMs are still, I don't know about you, Darth, having problems with guys begging to play on their TC and not correctly talking to them and telling them about the queue. I think I don't think that's the right way to go about it, and I'm a little disappointed to hear that still goes on.
I strongly with you. In my mind, to be honest, I have a bunch of guys active on my TC that are willing to play, and I told them, I'm sorry, but you can't get any playing time here. I told them that the queue would be coming up soon. And they're like, all right, but I told them straight up, I'm like, I'm making my last roster changes. I'm sorry, but it's not gonna work here for you. But I'm
And I
like, you'll
think
find a place in the queue perfectly fine.
right, and I think that's the biggest problem is that a lot of managers aren't being actively telling their players, there's a QMJHL draft. These guys will be posting on the forums. Make sure to look out. I mean, and that's a shout out. If any of you TC guys are listening to this show right now, hit up, OD Flux. Hit up some of these other guys that are posting in the forum because you're going to get picked a lot higher and you're going to be a lot higher on people's list if you actually say something to them. Odie, I have a few more questions for you if that's cool. I was actually going to ask you, do you have any buddies that you found on the TCs or any AGM potential on the TC?
I got one. My buddy Saucy.
Yeah.
We played defensive line together, and we're like a brick wall. Immortal BMW, he loved us because his amazing goalie skills plus us was just destroying
Oh my
when we
God.
played pickup games. But so I'm not sure whether or not to put him as my AGM so that way he's guaranteed on my team or use a pick to get him. But obviously, since the extension of the week for us to see, like scouting and all wise, I posted and I'm going to be sending out tryouts for an AGM because obviously I want to look through everybody and not just pick friends based on they're the only ones that actually want to be an AGM.
Absolutely. I guess my next question that follows that up. Which one do you think is more important to have as an AGM? Do you think at this point with the expansion it's to get the guy with the most talent? Or do you look for the guy that's the best managerial experience or has the most availability so he can be always available to help you guys get to their games?
Honestly, I just need somebody that's going to be able to be available, get people in games, and treat the players with respect. Because I can't respect my AGM if he can't respect my players. And everything that we do needs to be together, or the team will fall apart, and then I will be like the GMs that I hate, and that makes me a hypocrite.
Absolutely. Darth, you have a question for him?
One second, let me look here. You've already pretty much answered that question, so I'm just gonna wing it here. Like if we're talking about for your AGM there, and you said they have to be acting good players in the game. How are you supposed to do that though? Because you may not always find a good AGM, and people have learned that. Hence, what happened in the OHL here with Windsor and their old AGM. Who knows what happened there? But all in all, it's a tough choice.
And
Right.
that's why it goes back to whether or not I pick my friend that I trust, or I pick somebody that says that I can trust them.
Exactly.
But, I always get a second AGM, and I feel like the second AGM is the more crucial pick than your draft AGM.
Absolutely.
Because when in doubt, like halfway through the season starts or 2 weeks in, let's say I get somebody screaming like, "Oh, like let me play," and he's helping everybody else, then I know that I can count on him versus somebody I'm just drafting that wants to be an AGM because they just want to be an AGM.
And in all honesty, I hope the best for the Q. Like looking at these TCs right now, there is some solid main roster potential for you guys. I'm
There
also
is.
looking forward to see how it lays out.
Another thing I would say is that a little bit, maybe Darth, we can give him a little advice. We've been GMs for a while.
I haven't been a GM for what's my first season, I ain't gonna lie, but I've been in the league a while. I've been here for 7 seasons, so.
Yeah, you've been around enough good management and bad management to know.
Oh yeah, dude.
As for me, I can tell you a little bit about me. I had a terrible first season. My team did well, but due to some disputes between me and my previous GM, it ended not so well. And the second season, I ended up pairing up with bMaJuH. And our system was, I wasn't available all the time, so he took the GM, and he was always there, and his availability was great, and I was great with player management. This season, we have a good buddy to be our second AGM. He does scores and stats. I do management, like player management, and bMaJuH does, lines and everything else. do you have a set idea of what you want in an AGM and how he's going to be able, like, what exact jobs he wants and what's best? Or are you just kind of going to go with it and see what you guys are best capable at?
I'm actually not really sure. It's kind of the things that I need to like. I feel like I should just go with what I think's right, and if I make the wrong decision, I'm gonna learn from it. And it's obviously my first season as a GM. If I make the wrong decision, I will regret it, but that just means that people will have to rely on me more. So hopefully, I can full time it without the other AGM if he's not proving vital to the team. Maybe I pick up a second AGM and he gets the other responsibility that the first AGM doesn't.
Absolutely, that's a great idea. I got 2 more questions before we bid adieu to you. My first one will be this one, and that is, we don't really know the other GMs yet. And I'm sure you kind of know some of them, and I'm sure you guys are all talking. What are your expectations? What do we need to look at? Is there any good GMs that are coming out of nowhere down in the new expansion, or are they all newbies?
I haven't talked to many, but out of the ones I have, I definitely gotta say New York Rangers fan is my top contender for the cup. He has already almost has an entire starting line, and I've actually played with them because I was supposed to be the AGM for him, but I ended up getting picked to be a GM. And his players are very good. Like, he found those needles in the haystack, and if he gets those picks, then he necessarily won't need to worry about those inactives because he has those players to count on. I know other GMs are actually really mad because of the extra week of it being pushed back. And I think even one of them wanted to drop out of being a GM because he did not want to be waiting an entire week after the 2.5-week delay already for the season. But it should be an interesting season. It would be very nice to win a cup my first season as GM, but it honestly depends on the draft and who gets who. And if inactives get put on my team, there's not much I can do besides waiver them and try and pick up others.
Yeah, right. You could have said that in any better way. And I wish you with the best of luck in the queue. Because I don't really know who's going in there, but from what I've heard from you, you do seem to be a really good GM. You know what you're doing. And I honestly wish you the best of luck down there.
Yeah, you sound like a great guy. You sound exactly what we want in this expansion, and that's a guy that will give opportunity, 1, knows what he's kind of doing, 2, and has a passion for this game. And those are the 3 things that I think that make a great GM, and I think you're going to do great. Now, my last question, which is my second, is going to be this. You have seen the OHL kind of play some games. Why don't you give us your top 3 teams you think to look out for in the OHL?
Before I answer that question, I just want to share a quick quote with you guys, actually, real quick. And as a GM, this one hits me a lot. And it's by Joe. Oh gosh, I don't want to murder this name, but Sakic.
Oh, Joe Sakic?
Sakic, yes, I knew. That's the one thing I can't do is names.
Yeah.
But the quote is, "You need a lot of leaders, but a hockey team needs a voice. Not only in the community, but more importantly, between the coaching staff and the players. There are always ups and downs in a season, and the captain is the guy players look to in those situations." And I feel that one really big because we need communication. I may get a bunch of players that are new to NHL, but if we can communicate, then we can build a team and be unstoppable.
That's a great quote.
It is, dude. To be honest, I really appreciate that quote because myself, I'm a Colorado fan. Huge Colorado fan. You're my new favorite QGM, man. That quote. Don't even know what to say. That was perfect. Couldn't have said it.
Okay, so top 3 teams. So I've actually played for the top two teams, Kingston actually OHL was within the East Division. Kingston, I played with them, and then with where was
You said are you with Hamilton now?
Hamilton? Yeah, and I played with those two teams, and they're sitting up there in the top. I definitely say that Kingston has a very strong team. When I played for them, they had Immortal, they have good forwards, they have good defense. I couldn't fit in there because of the lack of management and the problems there, but if I were to say player-wise, who is the most stacked player, it would be Kingston. And what were they before? They were 5-1 with a 3-game winning streak. But actually, our team upset them. And Hamilton also has a very strong lineup. And there's just so many players. We have a group chat with 25 people in it on Kick. And, we're messaging all day long, having fun, making friends and everything. And for my last pick, I would either have to go with the North Bay Battalion or the London Knights. The London Knights had just been doing amazing. I believe they've had multiple games where they've gone over 8 points, if I'm correct.
Sounds right, yeah.
I know. I think they might have 12 gold one team or 11 gold one team. And they, as of their 7th game, they had 40 goals.
Wow.
Which, if you're putting those numbers up compared to, the Erie Otters had 26 goals. The Barrie Colts had 13.
Yeah.
Very is a different story.
The only team that was beating them was the Kitchener Rangers and Oshawa. Because, obviously Oshawa has a bunch of strong forwards.
Yeah.
And those would probably be my top 3 picks. Honestly, my number 1 pick is Kingston because of Immortal BMW and their backup goalie. Because, obviously, the more you keep out, the better chance you have of winning the game. And as a goalie myself, I play lacrosse, and I'm a roller hockey goalie. Just, if you can keep the goals out, your team can put the goals in on the other side. And that's how you win the game.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
That's a great winning formula. Pretty
Yeah.
basic, but it is one of the most basic things you need. You need to stop pucks to get pucks in. Now, OD, if you want, you can go ahead and finish the rest of the show with us if you'd like. Definitely, if you're open to it. We got about 3 more segments before we wrap up the show tonight.
Yeah, one thing I say with that goalie thing, dude, is I think in real life too is as long as you keep the puck or whatever you play out, dude, as long as you have a decent team in front of you, you will win games. You just have to keep that out of the net.
And that's one of the things when we first drafted our team. We did not even think about goalies. We thought this season, it's, what, we're going to get 5 goalies, and we're just going to say, all right, let's see who can whack out for the first job. And we ended up getting a message from our second pick, Jerdubs, and he told us, hey, we got this guy, go pick him up. We picked him up in the last day of draft, and that's Race. He's been solid for us, and then we got a random assignment, A1 Filthy, who has been playing great too. And goalies have surprised me. I think coming into this new game with the new mechanics and the jacked up goalie mechanics of the season, I don't think an actual team thought they had a great goalie on their hands. I don't think anyone knew what to expect.
Talking about that, the only I went into the draft knowing what I was doing first. I didn't really have a feeling for goalies, but I had one goalie in mind, which is Zero, who I have on my team now, still main roster goaltender. But then I picked up this other goalie in a trade named King that I got referred to by one of my players, and I picked him up. He played solid attendee, but he went inactive. And I had this guy on my TC named Sadine, and I played with him. such a good goaltender. He played for Ottawa last year in the NHL as a forward, and he's playing goal this year. And honestly, one of the most solid tendies I've ever played with in 16 so far as well.
I know Sedin. He's a funny guy, first of all. You
Oh,
probably already learned that. He's hilarious.
Him
And he's a great guy.
Him and Walsh know each other, and they were playing club last night, and that's the first time I've ever heard Sedin like open up more than anything. He's kind of he was quiet because he didn't really know anybody. But with Walsh on the team, I feel like we're gonna see more of him, hear more of him while we play.
Oh, that's great, man. Now let's go ahead and we can move on to our next segment. This is a new segment. I don't think anyone's ever implemented this. It's called Fill in the Blank. Darth, Odie, I'm going to pitch 3 things to you if you guys want to go ahead and answer them. And feel free, audience, to go ahead and comment in what you think the answer would be to the fill in the blank. My first one is going to be how Sarnia will be positive in win-loss for blank amount of weeks.
1.
1? You think they're going negative next week, eh?
They're crumbling, man. They're crumbling. In my eyes, Sarnia is gonna crumble. Hate to say it, I had them on my power rankings as a good team, but in my eyes, they're gonna crumble, and I pray they don't, just because of how decent they are. But I don't really know about the management over there. I've heard some rumors. I'm sure we all have about the management over there.
Oh, I think we have.
I think Sarnia is going under.
I believe Tarasenko got a whole forum post shut down. Shout out to our media neighbors and the LG Doghouse. Odie, what do you have anything to say about this, buddy?
You know,
Want to make a bold prediction?
not really. I think I'm gonna sit on this one.
Sit out on that one? I'm going to go ahead and say they go under a positive win-loss in 3 weeks. I think that the management will sour and the players will get antsy. And from what I hear, if Tarasenko doesn't straighten it up and start being, a kinder guy to his players, I think they're going to start wanting out.
Yeah, to be honest, dude, I was dying. Dude, I was watching the Sarnia game when my team was playing. Believe it or not, Tarasenko has the balls to do it, man. His player name on NHL right now is Abusive GM. I was dying, dude. I was watching the stream, pissed my pants, laughing. All my players are like, "Well, that's so funny." I'm like, "You wouldn't get it." And I'm sitting there, just
Got
dying.
a lot of crap on the Doghouse. And, this guy he reminds me a lot of Hammy, X27, from 2 seasons ago. And he's a brutal guy. He's very straightforward. But he's a great guy.
Yeah. Tarasenko's a good guy. I haven't really talked to him much, but I don't know. If he changes his way of going about the players, I'm pretty sure that team will prosper. But if he doesn't, that team's crumbling. It's going under. No doubt in my head.
Yeah, I think that leads us to our next fill in the blank. This one is a little bit more fun. Germ goes how many minutes until he is roasted again?
I'm gonna say 1 second, dude. Germ, I'm sorry, but yours gonna be some roasting, man. Maybe not on this episode, but I'll warn you now. There's gonna be a lot of roasting going on towards many teams, boys.
Yeah, I mean, Dar's a jokester, I'm a jokester, and Nylander, he has no sympathy, so.
What do you say about Germ, man? Oh, his trades, Germ. Your trades, dude, make me sometimes just debate what you think when you go for a trade. I'm sorry to say it. Your trades make me shake my head.
From the management kick chat that he has a system.
He
I don't know if he's running the Chip Kelly system or.
Jesus. Yeah, no, God, I think he's trying to run an Edmonton system. Rely on one rookie all season, the rookie gets injured, and then it's boned.
That's a great idea. Now, next, this is going to be our question of the week. Just so you guys know, we will have a Twitter page for us. You guys can go ahead and ask us questions. We will have a mailbag segment in the Thursday episodes, so you can go ahead and ask your questions to us as well. And you can also answer our question of the week. This week's question of the week is, do you think London will stay at the top for the whole season, or will you take the field?
I have an input on this myself.
Yeah?
In my eyes, London is gonna go under eventually, just because how strange-minded Sharp is with some of the trades he's talked to me about, and on I'll talk about.
Sharp's North Bay. Sharp's North Bay.
Oh yeah, shit, London.
talking
Oh, the
Cribs.
the cribs, man. I don't know. It all depends how their team lays out.
I mean, that's the question: is will you take London at the top of the CHL as they are currently today, the top team, or do we take?
To be honest, the top of the whole league. I'm not being biased here because it's my team, but I think the top 5 teams that are gonna fight for that spot is gonna be my team, your team, Nylander's team, with North Bay, and I don't know why I'm saying it. I think that Kingston is gonna pull through London, and
I think London hasn't faced.
they haven't faced.
top lines.
Yeah, when we start line matching, it's gonna be a whole new story for every team. Like
I know it will for ours.
we can't really predict much through the power rankings besides in our own minds, just thinking going in for the games we've watched and played. But once we start line matching, it's gonna be a completely different story for every single team.
Oh
So
yeah.
who really knows who the top 5 will be? Just after this week, that's what I think. But you never know.
I agree.
I mean, there's 3 things that London does that other teams aren't that good at. Their first one is they are the highest with average time on attack. You gotta clear the puck. If it's not in the zone, they can't score. And then
They cycle well. They cycle really well.
they're over 50% face-off percentage. That is pretty vital. If you look at all the teams that are over 50%, all of them have except for the Steelheads, all of them have roughly over 60% win percentage.
Yeah.
It's just direct correlation. The Otters, 63% face-off percentage, 67% win percentage. And then go look at the penalties in minutes. This is just killing teams.
Well, the
London
penalties
is sitting at 22 minutes. And how many games have they played so far?
They played, I believe, 8. Tonight's the 9th game.
8 games, 22 penalties in minutes. That's roughly like 1 to 2 penalties per game. Versus a team like our team, the Bulldogs, 70 penalty in minutes. The Battalion, 98 penalty minutes.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what they're doing, but somehow they still have 62% winning rate with that much time in the box.
And, you know, that's one thing about North Bay is we were just talking about their division. I mean, you look at that division. It's not... I have trust in Snake. I think Snake's team will pick it up. I think they've had a rough start. I think they faced a lot of good lines. But I think North Bay will start playing more top lines when they start playing more out-of-conference games. And they will. It'll come. They'll face more top teams. But you have to remember, you play the same team in your conference, or your division, 3 times every week? You play the same 3 teams once. I mean, that's 3 easy wins if those teams aren't as good as you. And judging from the standings, North Bay has a better team than Sudbury and the rest of those guys in that division.
One thing I have to say about the division, North Bay is lucky. No hate towards these teams, but that division is honestly probably the weakest division this year. And North Bay, in my eyes, if they pull together and they stop making these ridiculous trades and stuff, some of the trades and stuff I've been talking to you about, they're gonna pull through. They're gonna shred that division. They're gonna lead the division all season.
I think it's a North Bay thing. I just think that
I
people that
put
pick North Bay automatically have a good team. That's crazy.
Yeah, I played on North Bay a couple seasons ago, and with Lady Joey there, that was a solid team.
Oh, I love Lazy Joey. That season 6 was a fun season.
Yeah,
Until I got banned.
Yeah, I played there. I saw it for the TC, got called to the main roster, played playoffs. It was a good season. I enjoyed playing with those guys.
And they can't finish on the power play. They are 1 for 25 on the power play.
And I thought North Bay had a really good offense, and they really pumped themselves up. I mean, that's one of those things is a lot of these.
Especially during the draft there, dude, with Aga. He was saying, oh, yeah, don't worry about North Bay. We missed our picks. We're going to pull through.
I mean, that was a big thing. They missed their top 2 picks.
Yeah, that struggle.
Now, they did get Sharp, who's a solid player, but still, there's still something to be said about, missing 2 picks and going 1 for what? What was that, OD? 20 on the power plays?
1 for 25 on the power play.
Wow.
Another input I have, dude, about London, I'm going to go off topic a little bit here, is they have a prospect named Fisher here. I'm looking at his stats, dude. This guy, 6-1, including preseason, and in 7 games, has 20 points.
I mean, their centers are solid. Well, they have Bolduc, and they have Fisher, and I don't know their other one, but I know they have 3 solid centers. And that's, they built their team right this season. They have Daly on the goalie. He's solid. I mean, he's top 5 in save percentage, I believe. Daly is. And they have one of my buddies, Cromwell, over there. Solid.
Cromwell is a solid player.
Yeah, very solid. And, as long as you can win faceoffs, you can dominate in the offensive zone and put offensive pressure on a team. If you're winning 65, 70% of faceoffs, I mean, you're guaranteed offensive pressure.
But my question going in tonight with London is, will they win, though? Because they're on a 2-game losing streak as of right now.
That's true.
Can they turn it around and pull through? Or will they continue to slump?
That's a great question, and we'll have to see. I mean, on Sunday, we will talk about this more. We'll see, how the trades and the weekend did, who we think won those trades over the weekend. And we'll definitely talk about the Thursday games.
I'm hoping to see some really good germ trades on the weekend.
I'm sure there'll be plenty. I'm sure Gator will tell him that we don't need these players because they don't match our system.
Dude, going on top of it, I don't know if anybody's heard, but that Reaper drama was pretty hefty.
And I think we all know what really happened with that, and was told several different things. I don't want to say
I was
exactly.
told a lot.
Yeah, I was too. But I'm not gonna, it's not our place to speak. But I mean, that's definitely iffy. That was a big thing. Having a guy that's had, Reaper's been in leagues for 10 seasons. I mean, having that veteran presence on a team, like Germs, that's wasn't highly respected by a lot of players.
To be honest, coming from my locker room, none of my players really respect Germs' team just because he's the GM of that team. And I'll give it to Germ. He's pulled together a decent team.
Yes.
I'll give him that. He's pulled together a decent team. People doubted him, but all in all, Germ's a good guy. He gets on your nerves sometimes. He doesn't make the smartest choices, but all in all, he has a solid team over there. I'll give him that.
I mean, and that being said, if any of you guys listening don't, have something against Germ, I encourage you guys to go talk to him. He's a very nice guy. He knows what he's kind of doing over there.
Sometimes he expresses himself strongly.
Yes, and sometimes he comes off like a douchebag. But just remember that he means the best, and he only wants to win and create a winning attitude over there in Windsor, which, last time I checked, Windsor's never really been a winning team over here in LGCHL, so especially last season. But here we're going to start with our last segment before we head out. Why don't we make some bold predictions? OD, I'm going to let you start here if you want, bud. Why don't you make some bold predictions about the Q? Who do you think the top 3 teams are going to be in the Q? And who do you think the top 3 teams are going to be in the OHL next week? If you're here, that is.
Well, actually, the OHL. Okay, OHL for next week. I actually have not looked at the matchups yet, but so every game, every night, the Bulldogs have gone 1-1. That was 3 days straight. And last night we broke that and we went 2-0. And honestly, everybody in the team is so hype. I feel like they can keep it rolling. But their time on attack is terrible. They are second to worst with -8 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So they spend so much more time on defense than offense. But if they can keep up with their amazing forwards, I feel like they might powerhouse through next week. And honestly, I feel like Storm is going to powerhouse through next week if they can put
Well,
in people that can finish.
that is a very bold prediction, my friend. That
It
is a
is, but
very bold prediction.
if you look at the stats, their plus minus for time on attack is 22 minutes.
Wow.
That's amazing. But they need somebody that can finish to win the games.
Yeah.
QMJ, honestly, I'm feeling myself as a cup contender. If needed, I'm going up to left wing, and I will go back to my ways of dumping the puck in the net and hat trick every game. Bold statement, but that and New York Rangers fan. The rest of the GMs I haven't talked to. Nobody's really open about it. None of us really talk to each other, at least not that I know of. Everybody's just always yelling at each other for, oh, we should delay it. Oh, we shouldn't delay it. Honestly, you know what? You're gonna have to run against me, and they better be ready for me, because I'm coming in first season and I'm ready to take the cup, and that's all I have to say.
Alright. My bold predictions, dude, I'm gonna go out on a wheel here. Like a huge wheel. People are gonna question me for this, dude. But I don't know why. I think I have a feeling that Flint might have a good week next week. I don't know why.
Flint?
Flint, dude, I don't know what it is. It's just looking at some of their players. I know some of them, like their AGM Demetra, solid center, dude, solid. Who else is here? Beauregard, he's decent. He's decent. I've seen him a couple times play too. I don't know. Just because everybody's gonna have the feeling for line matching now, I feel like it's gonna be more people are gonna have a fair advantage going in. And secondly, I'm gonna have to go with Hamilton. The Czech has built a good team.
Yes.
They may keep going on this roll, which I don't doubt. It just all depends how they play their lines. If they play them with matching and they play it perfectly against other teams, I have no doubt they'll win more than half of their games.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your third one?
My third one is probably Owen. The Sound.
Wow.
Sports team.
He always puts the. I mean, last season he put a great team together. This season, I think he's really faced a lot of great lines. So I think it's just a thing of line matching.
In my eyes, because now we can line match. When Burning Wolves is gonna have a huge impact in the line matching. Huge impact. Yeah, you can tell from him leading the league and whatnot. He's gonna have a huge impact. And if Mercy and Grace can step it up and maybe not let in 11 goals per game, they might do good next week.
Yeah, and
All
that's to
depends.
be said. I think he only allowed 11 goals in one game, but
Yeah, one game.
he bumped up the save percentage. I think to a 78. I want to say. And I think his goals against her is 2.33. So it looks like he kind of improved after the week he had. The start of the week, he had a pretty bad start. It looks like he's
He
kind
had
of
a
solid.
scary start, dude. What are you? It was horrifying.
He had a pretty bad start. All right, I guess I'll start with my bold predictions now. One, I think the team that will be on the top next week will be Saginaw. I think that their guys will not get called up after this week, but I think they're going to be a great team next week, and I think they'll be at the top. Two, I'm going to have to go ahead and go with the Peterborough Petes.
Thanks, man. Flattering.
Darth has a great team over there, and his team works well. They have great chemistry, and they just really like to play with each other all the time. Doing that improves skill and improves chemistry, which makes you produce way better on the ice. Three, this might be a little surprising here, but I think that the Oshawa Generals will have a pretty good week next week. They just acquired, oh no, Frenchie, if he gets sent down, they have a really solid team. I know that they have Slicer Dangles and they have Krispy Kremer, I believe, is on the IR. But KTV Kill has built a good team over there, and a lot of guys I do not know. But they really run a great squad over there, and Killa and Rise to Supremacy really know what they're doing. So I can't wait to see what next week holds for all these teams, because I think week one's always, you find the people come out of the woodwork, they do great. But next week we're going to find out who's the pretenders and who's not. All right, OD, Flux, Darth, you guys got anything else to say before we head off?
Yeah, I actually got a question for you guys and then for the viewers. So, what do you guys think about, like, I refer to it as the hybrid goalie glitch, but where you are sitting in the butterfly in the back of the net
Don't even bring that up. Do not.
against the
Do
line.
not. I'm gonna be so mad if we bring this up.
I
so
think
pissed off about
that Zeno needs to literally look at this, and he needs to. Everyone should be required to Twitch stream, and that these goalies need to be eradicated, and they should not be allowed to play that way.
In my eyes, man, I hate to say it, but that and wraparound should be banned. Two things I fucking hate the most. Banned.
And I hate to say
Gone.
this, but Saginaw did this against me. They did 360s on the short side, and they would just shoot the puck short side. Like, they're literally lateral to the goal. They're on the fucking line, the icing line.
See, but as a goalie, if you post butterfly, you can easily stop the wraparound. Like, unless you know the guy fake shot and goes the other way, you're good to stop it. As a goalie, I know this, and it's honestly not that hard to stop wraparounds. Like, there's so much hype about it, but honestly,
They're not hard to stop. It's just sometimes your goalie does that dumb ass animation that drives me
that's
fucking
everything
crazy.
though. Like, I call them EA animations, where EA just screws you over. Like, for instance, it just bounces off your pad. Your goalie doesn't even try and stop it, or like it kicks off somebody's skate in between your goalie's legs. Your defender shoots it in because he's trying to pass or something
I
like
didn't really
that.
watch that
It's just EA trying to screw you over.
Yeah, I think that too. I mean, but the EA butterfly thing, it needs to go away. People need to get fines or, like, one-game suspensions for that.
Honestly, they do. And to be honest, if you don't want to ban the wraparound, at least put a limit on it. Like, you could have a certain amount of attempts at it, whether you failed or not, and that's all you get for the game. But that'll be a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
I have another question for the fans, though. Saying we're gonna have a Twitter here. No, I feel like we should have people send in some roasts. I wanna hear some of these roasts and read them out, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to hear a lot about who thinks the fill in the blanks for these. I mean, those should be fun, especially the germ one. And I do.
I want to hear a germ roast, dude. If someone gets sent to a germ roast, dude, you'd be my favorite forever, hands down.
Yeah, absolutely. The other one is, I think, the question of the week about London. It's gonna really raise some conversation, and it's gonna have a lot of ego throw in from people on active roster and management also. I think we're going to hear a lot of "I'm better than you," "No way." I think it's going to be fun to hear a lot of these reactions from the fans.
Oh yeah, dude. To be honest, on our Twitter, there's probably a bunch of GMs blowing up shit, talking to each other. You can already tell.
Yeah.
It's going to be very controversial.
It is, I guess. And with that, I mean, we'll go ahead and shut it off. I do want to throw out a few thank yous before we end this. I do want to thank F5 Penguin for going ahead and giving us the green light on a week's notice for this show. Two, I would like to thank bMaJuH for all of the production and everything. He's been great. Thank you, bud.
Shout out to bMaJuH.
Yeah, I mean, you're awesome. You do a lot for media. And three, this is to all the guys in media. We should need to all band together. We make this show and we don't talk crap about other shows because we need to band together and create a bigger audience for everyone to listen to. We should be throwing 3 shows, 4 shows out for the people every week because these guys, they love LG as much as we all do. and we just want to get more media out there, and we just want to hear about our teams. And you know what? We need to all band together and help the viewers get what they want. So, I can't speak for everybody, but hopefully one day all of CHL Media can band together and be under one brand.
And one person I'd really like to thank is Odie for filling in for Nylander there when he left. Thanks, man. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It was actually really fun.
Yeah, I was actually having a good time.
Flux, I mean, yeah, you're welcome to come back next week and help us host the show if you'd like.
Yeah, we can always use one.
Yeah, we could always use another guy. And that is another thing. If you guys are interested in being a part of the show as an interviewee, we are doing player interviews. We are open to them, and we want to hear your voice and opinions about the league. So, with that being said, send me a PM over LG, or send Darth, or send bMaJuH a message, and we will see if we can get you on the show. With that, this is Vatanen and Darth and OD Flux signing off. Thank you for listening to CHL Mic'd Up, and look for us on Sunday.